President Trump's pardoned more than a dozen Utahns for their roles in the January 6th riot at the Capitol in 2021. One of those Utahns is Eagle Mountain resident Brad Bokoski.
So he pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge of parading, demonstrating, or picketing in the Capitol. But that conviction is now gone. And he's speaking with our Jordan Tracy, who joins us in studio with more. Hey, Jordan.
Well, Brian and Sarah, Brad Bokoski will no longer have to serve the rest of his 3 years of probation now that President Trump has pardoned him. Now, looking back on that day and all of the violence that came of it, Bokoski doesn't regret much and believes it was Trump supporters who were wronged.
I wouldn't have gone in.
That is the one thing Brad Bokoski would change. He wouldn't have gone with his son Matthew into the Capitol building, not because of what became of that day, just not to go through that legal process.
The entire process from being arrested and exactly 1 full year to your sentencing is absolute mental hell. And I wouldn't want that, nor do I wish it on anyone. It's more punishment than the 3 years probation.
Bokoski sees January 6th differently than these images. The violence against Capitol Police. Not only was it a peaceful gathering in his eyes, but he insists any violence was completely provoked by police.
Didn't start to become rowdy, if you will, until the police started throwing tear gas in. And at that point, the people were rebelling at that point. So they were provoked into their offensive behavior. That was one of the greatest expressions of freedom of speech that has ever occurred since 1776.
He says he and his son were welcomed into the Capitol. He alleges the whole thing was provoked by the legislature, police, and those wishing to pin the violence on President Trump.
What really happened was the grandest entrapment by the government ever. What I regret is that our government entrapped us. That's what I regret, having a government that would do that to its people.
Now, Bokoski says he lost friends, family members, his social media, and even his employer was upset after his conviction for January 6th. But with the pardon, he now doesn't have to be supervised by probation. He can leave the state without getting permission, and he'll once again be able to own guns. But the story doesn't end here. He says he is joining a group of J6ers, as they refer to themselves, to sue the government. Live in studio, Jordan Tracy, ABC 4 News.